It started with a quiet night. A locked door. A family asleep, unaware that evil was watching. Then, without warning, the nightmare began. Between 1984 and 1985, an invisible threat haunted California. A shadow that slipped through windows, walked down hallways, and left behind scenes so horrific that even seasoned investigators were shaken. He didn't follow a pattern. He didn't discriminate. Men, women, children, the Night Stalker chose victims at random, making him impossible to predict and even harder to stop. His methods were beyond brutal. He didn't just kill, he tortured, he taunted, he toyed with his victims like a predator playing with its prey. Sometimes, he forced them to swear loyalty to Satan. Other times, he simply watched as fear consume them. What made him even more terrifying was how easily he could vanish. He would strike one night, leaving behind horror and chaos, only to disappear into the darkness. No one knew where he would hit next. No one knew who would be next. The city of Los Angeles was gripped by fear. News reports spread warnings, neighborhoods changed overnight, people reinforced their doors, slept with weapons, and held their loved ones a little closer. But none of it stopped him. The Night Stalker thrived in the panic. Law enforcement scrambled for answers. Detectives pored over crime scenes, desperate to connect the dots. Each murder, each attack, each act of terror pointed to the same man, but he seemed untouchable. His face was unknown, his identity a mystery. But the killer had made a mistake. A single footprint, left in the dust, gave detectives the first real lead. With each crime scene, more clues began to emerge: a partial fingerprint, a stolen car, a survivor's description. The noose was tightening. Then, on August 25th, 1985, it all came crashing down. The Night Stalker's face was finally revealed, a mugshot spread across every newspaper, every television screen. The predator had become the prey. Ramirez had no idea his reign of terror was over. When he returned to Los Angeles, he expected to blend in, just as he always had. But this time, the city recognized him. The moment he stepped into a store, people whispered, pointed, and then chaos. The entire neighborhood erupted, chasing him down the street. He ran. He fought. But there was nowhere left to hide. A group of citizens surrounded him, beating him until the police arrived. After months of fear, Richard Ramirez was finally in custody. His trial became one of the most notorious in history. His chilling gaze, his disturbing courtroom antics, his eerie smile, Ramirez seemed to revel in the attention. He sneered at justice, flashing a pentagram on his palm and declaring his loyalty to Satan. But his arrogance couldn't save him. The evidence was overwhelming. DNA, fingerprints, witness testimonies, all of it pointed to one conclusion. The jury found him guilty on 13 counts of murder, 5 counts of attempted murder, 11 counts of sexual assault, and 14 counts of burglary. The sentence? Death. For years, he sat on death row, continuing to show no remorse. But in 2013, before he could face execution, Richard Ramirez died of cancer in prison. His crimes left behind scars that would never heal. His victims, their families, the city itself, none of them would ever forget the horror he brought. Some killers are predictable. Some follow patterns, leaving behind clues to be unraveled. But the Night Stalker was something else entirely. He was chaos. He was fear itself, walking the streets, stepping through doors, and proving that sometimes the true monsters are the ones that live among us. If you enjoyed this deep dive into true crime, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more chilling cases.